Have you ever wondered just what people think about leadership that they're currently having in their school, the leaders that are currently leading the institutions right now across the world? Do you have an effective leadership team? And what kind of characteristics do you think make the very best leaders? These are the types of things we're going to be discussing and more during this live broadcast. Welcome to Ed Talks Live. Bray. Hello, welcome everyone. My name is Ivo Hanan and I'm going to be hosting this show and every show every Sunday until mid-December to help educators and anyone else who's interested in learning a little bit more about the education landscape locally, nationally and globally. Today we are going to be focusing on leadership. It is the 27th of September and we're going to be joined by a host of different people. Let's take a look. So, our guests for today are Paul Hume, he is from the UK, and Ali Goljahmofrad, who is from the United States. We're also going to have a host of teachers who are going to be joining us in our staff room. Kyrstie Stubbs, Edgar Palacios, Valerie Lewis, Anne-Louise Jordan, Barbara Bray, Ben Brown, Debbie Furgueson, Ashley Green, and of course, Michael Crawford. So we're going to jump straight into the staff room and we're going to say hello to everyone. Hi guys, how's everyone doing?
Doing great, Eva. How are you?
Doing great.
Yeah, I'm good. So, you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Absolutely.
Okay. I think I was down to go first, if I read the email correctly. So I'm Kyrstie Stubbs. I'm a head teacher from England. I work in a trust at the moment. I've been a head teacher for 10 years. I can't believe I'm actually saying that. But I actually started out as a leader in a retail organisation. So my leadership has sort of spanned two different industries, if you like. I'm really interested to see what people think about the ideal traits of leadership today. And I'm really honoured to be part of the staff room. So thank you for inviting me.
Edgar.
Good morning, everyone from Kansas City, Missouri in the United States. I'm Edgar Palacios. I run an organization, a not-for-profit organization, whose mission is to retain and recruit Latino educators in K-12. So I'm glad to be here and glad to be representing Kansas City.
Great.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Valerie Lewis. I'm a 20-year educator, but a third-year assistant principal at a local high school here in the Metro Atlanta area. I'm also the co-founder of Past the Scope EDU and founder of Ed Obstacles. And my passion is students with learning disabilities, but definitely in this space supporting teachers.
Hi, everyone. I'm Barbara Bray. I'm in Oakland, California, and I've been in education a long time, 35 years. Started as a teacher, and I'm a coach and an author. I've written 3 books, 2 on personalized learning, and my last one is Define Your Why. But I'm also a podcast host. And that's my love, is the stories. And also I talk to a lot of leaders, so I'm really excited about this being included. Thank you, Eva.
Hi, I'm Ben from the UK. I am a former teacher, deputy head teacher, quite a bit of experience in primary, mostly in year 6, it seems. I don't know if that's a male primary teacher thing. Now I work with lots and lots of head teachers with education roundtables. We sort of connect, collaborate, solve challenges, and reassure each other actually that everything's going in the right direction. So I know Kyrstie quite well because I see her quite a bit, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the show.
Hi, I'm Debbie Furgueson from Connecticut on the East Coast of the USA.
this is my 35th year in the classroom. And my biggest passion is working and understanding children of trauma. That's my area of expertise. And I founded a Better Classroom, which you'll see on Twitter under @OceanTeacherD, and have been around. I chose not to go into administration, and I have worked with lots of different leaders, so I'm very excited to be part of this as from the non-being a leader part of it. So thanks for having me, Evo.
Thanks, Debs.
Hi everyone, I'm Ashley, originally from Scotland, but I've been teaching in Dubai for 10 years. Some people know me as Mindful Miss Green on social media because it's a true passion of mine as well, being in education for staff and students. I'm also an author of a book for children all about feelings and emotions called The Emo Beans and the Feelings.
I am Anne-Louise, originally from Scotland and working over here in Madrid. I'm deputy head. This is my second year as deputy head in a British school. And I'm also Senko as well, as that is where my heart lies, is in Senko. And I'm just eager to learn more from you guys and connecting with so many different people. And a huge shout out to Sharifah, whose shoes I am filling today. Get well soon, Sharifah.
Thank you very much, Anne-Louise. Thank you. Oh, Michael.
Yeah, hi, I'm Michael. I am host of the staff room here. So when we jump over to the staff room as part of Ed Talks, I'll be helping to drive the ship on this side. I am also co-founder of edspace.live, which is a social network for the world of education, a place where teachers and school leaders and other folks in education can go and ask questions and meet and connect with other people doing important work. And so I'm always happy to be here and happy to be with y'all, coming to you from Michigan in the United States.
Great, Michael, and thanks again for the support. Michael will be not only hosting the staff room and helping out, but also the important timekeeper for the staff room quiz, guys. A very official position.
It's a really important job.
So we have a few ways that you can engage with this show. Obviously, you can engage live in the chat. I can see that the chat's very busy right now. Whilst we're at it, the people who are tuning in, why don't you tell us where you're from and tell us what you're currently up to? Whilst I'm doing that, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about other ways to engage. You can engage on Edspace. If you haven't joined Edspace, please go make a profile. It is a great way of engaging with other educators around the world and developing your PLN, your professional learning network. You can also engage on Twitter with the hashtag EdTalksLiveS2. And in a moment, you'll have an opportunity to engage live in our polls that are all about leadership. This space that we've created as a faculty, we're hoping to get very honest answers. We want to make sure that whatever we do in this show is authentic and resonates with people. Everything is obviously anonymous in regards to the polls, so be as brutally honest as you can, because that's going to help our faculty and our guests engage and give the very best ideas and strategies back to you guys. Okay, so without further ado, let's start off with the first poll question. Okay, so I need to flick over my bad. I need to flick over. Let me quickly flick over to the polls. That's my bad. Sorry about that, guys. So here we go. Okay, so the first poll question is rate your current school leadership. Okay, so we want to know what you currently think about your school leadership. You go onto menti.com, you type in the code 8709301. I will also be asking the faculty to do the same thing if they have access to a device at this time. We have number 1, inadequate, they haven't got a clue. Number 2, satisfactory, they are slowly getting there. My options have obviously actually disappeared. Number 3 is good. And then you've got number 4, which is they're actually exceptional and they're doing an outstanding job. Okay? Be as honest as you can, and let's see how that rolls out. Now, whilst we're waiting for those answers, let's go and catch up with our first guest. He is a deputy head. He is also a year 5 teacher. He's from the UK. His name is Paul Hume. I don't know what I'm doing here with this production. Hold on one second. Let me go. Paul, can you let us know that you're there, please?
Here you go.
Okay, here we go. So, why is that not working? Oh no. Hold on one sec, guys. I'm not sure what's going on here. It's disconnected from the Zoom, and I'm not entirely sure why. It's completely disconnected from the Zoom, guys. Okay. Yeah, hold on one second, Paul. I'm not sure why that's happened, guys. Let me turn that on and turn it back on again.
I'll try to be more animated.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was literally just working then. Let's go down and try it again.
The universe doesn't want to see.
Well, not only is that not working.
It's not sure.
Okay, so guys, I'm not entirely sure why the Zoom isn't working. I'm literally going to have to check out what's going on here with the Zoom window, because it is live and it's not showing at all. Guys, bear with me. Sorry about this. I am not entirely sure why this is happening. Let's go. Okay, got it back. Okay, Paul, you are you're on track. How are you doing, Paul?
Hi, Bo. Nice to be here.
Good to see you. I believe you're going to be joined by family and friends. Is that right? They're joining you from the UK?
Right, yeah. That's right. Yeah, I've got some friends watching from Scotland. I've got lots of colleagues watching from London.
Brilliant.
And, goodness knows who else.
Well, if you are watching, Paul, and you've tuned in to support Paul, please mention that on the chat window now as we start our conversation. So, Paul, you are a deputy head and you're also a year 5 teacher. Tell us a little bit about your experience.
Yeah, so, hi everyone, Paul here. So I've been teaching for about 13 years, worked in lots of various primary schools across London, worked in all year groups. I was relatively quite late to teaching. I qualified at the age of 29. And in one of my blogs, I talk about my journey to teaching, which was quite varied as well. I started off as a crisp seller at the tender age of 14, selling crisps around the streets, worked in various call centres. I did a fashion degree in Manchester, and then just for money, I just worked in any cafes, restaurants that I could. It wasn't until I got work as a teaching assistant in a primary school that's when I took the leap from. That's when I realised that I really wanted to be a teacher. Also during my teaching journey, though, I have taken lots of time out as well, which has helped me to sort of refresh, refocus. Had various stints in New York, a year out in Canada, and I even worked in a gas station in Biloxi, Mississippi for 6 weeks, that was quite interesting. Yeah, but on all of that life experience I brought into teaching, which has kept me quite strong, a bit more grounded. It's kept me quite humble as well.
That's really good.
An interesting journey. Really,
I mean, that's a great journey, Paul. So that's led you into now being a deputy head. Tell us a little bit more about that role, and how do you find being a what most people would call a senior leader?
Yeah, well, I've started deputy head just last month, so relatively new to the senior leadership position. But it's a lovely school. It's a one-form entry bilingual school, so that in itself is quite a new experience for me too. And that journey as well has been quite interesting. My journey to leadership, my attitude towards leadership has changed throughout the time. I remember thinking back to being an NQT and how arrogant I was in thinking that that's where I needed to be. I could just, had it all mapped out, had it all worked out for myself. Like I was going to be a senior leader one day. And that arrogance, I'm glad that life gave me some knocks throughout my time, made me quite humble. And that came from a variety of reasons. There was once where I remember leading on humanities and just going into a staff meeting saying that I've changed the whole curriculum. Here's how it's going to be, and then seeing the stony silence from the staff who I thought were friends, and then just like, oh my gosh, no, that we can't do that. We need to work as a team. Clarity and simplicity was another thing. I remember just totally confusing one of my lessons, just like cramming it full of all the different strategies. I had no idea how they were going to work, and just mucking up one of my lessons and realizing that actually I just need to keep things more simple, a bit more clear. And the same could be said with my communication in general as well.
Okay.
Also, I learned that the value of knowing yourself as well. That came through with me being a mentor to someone else. It was like a soul mirror. It helped me understand, I was responsible for someone else. It taught me the value of what I have to offer as well. I burned myself out. There was lots of bureaucracy I allowed myself to get on top of. I had to take a lot of time out for that too. And then I was determined after that I would never again allow that. And I think that's what's come through in how I'm passionate about staff well-being, what I want to bring as a deputy head. I want to make sure that the staff are looked after, that they're not burdened with unnecessary paperwork. I want to make sure that we're all working together collaboratively. And I learned not to chase it in the end. I remember just stepping back, just enjoying teaching. And actually, as teachers, we're leaders of children. And what is it that we do as teachers? Well, we uncover their talents and abilities. We challenge, we support them, we encourage them, we care, we show compassion towards them, and we show empathy. We show kindness to them. I think that's what makes the best teachers, therefore best leaders. And so my whole attitude to leadership changed. Stop chasing it. They eventually found me anyway. I was at a school. I remember there was no phase lead, but the staff were quite unhappy, but they had no voice. So I stepped up and was their voice, and then led me to where I am today. This at this school that I'm at, this lovely creative school that I'm at. She just needed a partner because she had no one to help, with this assessments and I was just there at the right time, the right place, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I also had a different attitude on my shoulder. I had a different head on my shoulders based on all the knocks that I've taken throughout my life as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's quite a journey, really, isn't it, Paul? And congratulations on actually starting your journey, your leadership journey over the past month. And we do obviously wish you the very best in the future. I'm going to ask you for one last thing before we jump into the staff room. Of all of the leaders you've worked with, what is the quality that really stands out, that shines from some of these great leaders?
That's a good question, Evo, and it comes back to what I said before about what we do as leaders of children. And the best leaders that I've worked with are those leaders who do the same that we get from children. They uncover our talents, they uncover our abilities, they bring out the best. They challenge appropriately, and they support and encourage. Like I said, they show compassion, above all kindness. I think kindness and understanding and empathy, you can have everything else, but without that, I think it's kind of futile.
Yeah.
You need that. as a skill. And I think back to my favorite primary school teacher, Mrs. Bizet. She was amazing. She did that with us. I think back to my teacher training mentor, Janice. She was amazing. She did that to me as well. She brought out the best in me. Yes, okay, I had this arrogance later on in my NQTs, so like I described before, but still, she had that passion. She brought out the best of my team. My mentor as an NQT, Claire, brilliant. Also brought out the best in us. Uncovered and challenged me when I needed it. My team leader, Paul, as well. He was amazing too. Just led with this passion, led with this kindness, led with this empathy, and fostered this community, fostered this love. And I've seen the negatives too. I know what I want based on all those experiences. I know what kind of leader I want to be. I know what I want to bring out in my team. I don't want a team of disgruntled pelicans, to quote my mother Rose. I want us together.
Great.
Yeah.
Really good. You know what, Paul, thank you very much for sharing your journey with us. We are going to be hearing a little bit from you later on. We're going to be jumping into the poll now to see how the poll is. Because the show runs in delay to the live show, I'm going to be just shouting out the current percentages, and then we're going to be jumping in to hear some opinions from our staff room faculty. So the first poll, question 1, rate your current school leadership. Okay, 18% have said exceptional. 45% have said they are doing a good job, so rating number 3, and 36% have said satisfactory. Okay, the largest percentage being good, and number 3, and then the second largest percentage being satisfactory. Nobody gave a number 1, which is quite nice, really. So let's jump into the staff room and let's see what people have got to say. We're going to go to Anne-Louise, Barbara, Ben, and Ashley. Anne-Louise, what do you think what do you think about those poll statistics?
Oh, I've written it down and put a big circle around it and arrows towards it. The 36% satisfactory that doesn't sit well with me. It doesn't sit well with me because I just feel that I've collaborated with so many exceptional leaders in the past few months, and I still find it very hard to believe that there's some people out here that are watching this that still don't feel that their leadership team is what was the word that you used? Exceptional?
There's exceptional at the top.
Yeah. No, for me it's not good enough. So just listening to Paul as well, I've underlined some things that he's said about life experiences, bringing them into teaching. That everyone on the chat here is saying that your life experiences is making you who you are, and that's what we bring into the classroom. And you've acknowledged your arrogance, and there's that 36% have not yet acknowledged their arrogance. So through powerful mentors, you mentioned all of this, Paul, through having powerful mentors, we can allow people to acknowledge their arrogance. And we need to speak. You've said this, I've underlined it, I'm echoing everything you've said, Paul. Absolutely wonderful words. You said that you just stopped chasing leadership, but found you. That for me was, that's key. That's what we want. We want leaders who it finds them, because teaching is a vocation. We know this as teachers. It finds us. I didn't want to be a teacher. It found me. And whenever you talk to teachers, it's my vocation. It's part of me. It's in my heart. It's my dream. It's, we take it home. We don't leave it at school doors. But yeah, I just feel that we just need to keep mentoring, supporting, being who we are. And I think that I'm doing a pretty good job. I hope that I'm in the goods category, and if any of my staff are watching, number 1, that was number 1. You should have. But yeah, Paul, I think we need more of you out there. there are a lot of you out there. I just think there needs to be a wee bit more.
Very good. Michael, I'm going to go to you quickly before you continue with this conversation. What do you, just really quickly, the 18% exceptional, 45% good, and 36% satisfactory. Michael, just give us a heads up about that before you continue the conversation in the staff room.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm happy to see that that people aren't reporting absolute tragedy, right? That most people are doing okay, and there feels like, even though this poll doesn't show kind of the movement towards many of the things that Paul talked about around humility, around listening. I love this idea of, and I think Val did as well, around soul mirror. And so there's a handful of things that Paul mentioned, I think, that if leaders were to take those on and kind of absorb those, we would begin to see teachers report differently about their leadership. So I think some really great feedback from Paul. Barbara, you have been in education for a while and have written books that cover a range of topics that overlap with leadership. What did you take from Paul's talk?
From the poll, I just like what Anna Louise said, and you said also, it's the number of, not as good, satisfactory. Actually, I can see that now. What I'm hearing from leaders, that during this pandemic, they're having a real tough time, and that they want to support their teachers, but they're conflicted with everything that's going on. And I just have to say, I just wish I could hug Paul right now. Your story and what you said about soul mirror touched my heart, because I know many of the leaders that I work with want to be that, but they're trying to balance everything. And it's really tough right now in the United States. We're opening schools when we're not ready. We have things happening, and we're making decisions that we're not happy with. And that's some of the concerns that are happening. It's like we have to step back and pause for a little bit, and then hopefully we can have that compassion and empathy and be the soul mirror that you said. That was just really beautiful. Thank you so much.
I love that. Ben, what did you take from what Paul had to say?
The thing I picked up on most from Paul was when he was talking about that connection of people really understanding and listening. And I think that's the key thing that comes out of a lot of leadership, is the communication. And you've got to be a curious leader about the people you're leading. You can't just lead a mass, you're leading people. So you need to be having those conversations with them. What makes them tick? What are their hopes, their dreams, their fears? What works, what doesn't work? And that's how you find out where your tribe want to go, and make sure you take them in the right direction. And it also means that when you come to expressing and communicating the vision of what it is you're trying to achieve in your school, you're having those conversations and people are buying in and going with you. And I think that's something I really picked up from what Paul was saying about the conversations. The mentors he had were all people that have obviously had those conversations with him. They understood him. They pulled him up when he needed it, perhaps knocked him down as well when he needed it as well, because we all need that too. Not in a nasty way, but pointing out everything that we need to know about being better at what we do.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. And Ashley, this actually ties a bit into your work. You're a teacher and also an expert in well-being and mental health. So where does this kind of overlap with your perceptions of leadership and what Paul had to say?
So it was interesting listening to Paul, because I felt like a lot of the you said, Paul, really linked in with the research that I talked about in last week's show. So Thriving Teachers, when they talked about their leaders, they said that the leaders were all those things, like empowering, and things like that. And what I really loved about what Paul said was, the way we are with the children in our class. You get those children that just come in every day and sit really quietly and do what they're asked to do, and they're not like the big loud character that often gets most of your time. So I've actually experienced a leader who, I was like that child within the staff, felt a bit like she didn't see me really, or, couldn't see the potential that I had. But then I've also worked for a leader who was like the teacher, as in they can see the potential in that child and see what their passions are. And that really helped me flourish in my role. You know, I've done so many things, and it's because of leadership giving me that platform. So I love listening to Paul, because even hearing him speak, I know that you're that person, you know, that you spend time in amongst the staff. So I just love true leadership, you know, they get stuck in alongside the staff. We had someone the other day, we had to do a lot of furniture moving. There they were, the SLT team were in, you know, helping us push things around because we needed the support, and there they were. So I think leaders, like Paul was saying, that, you know, teach from or lead from the inside out. They're so valuable in education.
Yeah, because I just wanted to say that a lot of what I'm talking about, you know, it's not coming from necessarily research. It's experience and my experiences from other leaders and how I've been trained, you know. So, you know, I know there's lots of research out there. I need to do probably more of myself, you know, but it's lovely to be able to reflect back on that and see how those experiences have shaped me to where I am today, even at the beginning of my leadership journey. I've still got a long way to go. More knocks probably in the future, but I'll take them as they come.
Yeah, no, Paul, thank you very much. And thank you very much to Anne-Louise, Barbara, Ben and Ashley for those insights as well. It's interesting really, because as we actually start to dig a little bit deeper into leadership, that level of authenticity seems to come out. The ability to be yourself, find yourself, and adapt and change to your environment, but always be authentic to yourself and your message, so people can understand where you're coming from and you can develop yourself as a leader. Just quickly, the poll. These are the poll results once again for anybody who wants to check them out. 18% exceptional, 45% good, and 36% satisfactory. No doubt these will be a reference point later on as we continue the conversation. We are now going to jump into a 90-second EdTech video by Erica, who's going to share a few tools with us.
Okay, administrators, here are 3 helpful tools and strategies to help you collaborate, communicate, and build community. Number 1, collaborate. Use Google Keep with your fellow administrators to keep tasks together and just have people check off when their task is done. Or you can even go into your Google Drive and your Google Keep is right there. But my favorite, grab image text. You can take pictures of your Post-it notes and it will type it for you. Number 2, communicate. Administrators need to be able to communicate at all times from anywhere, and there's so many amazing apps that can help them do that. All of these apps have a lot of things in common. For example, they have built-in translation to many languages. In Class Dojo, you can build community in their class story and even send out school-wide newsletters, plus see statistics of who actually has read it. Number 3, care. And not just care for your staff, but care for you. All those early morning and late night duties, buses that are always late, the last car in the parking lot is you might as well make this place your home. An awesome suggestion is to take advantage of the free mindfulness apps for educators, because your job clearly doesn't end even when you go home.
Thank you very much, Erica, for sharing those tools with us. We really appreciate you handing that over, and hopefully catch up with you over the next few shows as well. So we're going to go straight into the second poll. The second poll relates to characteristics of the best school leaders. What characteristics make the best school leaders? Something like that I just asked Paul. Again, menti.com. This is going to be a word cloud that's going to be generated, so please use one word. You do have 4 or 5 words that you can use in separate ways. Code is 8709301, same as before. And whilst that's building itself up, we're going to be speaking to our next guest. He is from the United States. He is currently Dean of Students in a school, and he also has his own website. I'd like to welcome, let me just make sure that I'm going to get this right at my end. Why is it not working? Here we go. Ali, are you there, Ali?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Ali, welcome to the show. It's great that you can join us from the States. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for having me. Before I jump into myself, I just have to say, Paul, your energy is spot on. About 5 seconds after we met and you started talking, I thought to myself, one day I'm going to meet this guy. You have the type of energy that I think everybody needs. So thank you for being just exactly who you are. Yes, my name is Ali Goljahmofrad. I'm not originally from Texas in the U.S. I'm from Idaho in the United States. But my wife and I moved to Texas about 7 years ago when I got into education. I was a teacher coach in the high school level for 6 years, math and soccer, or I guess football to most of the people on this call. And I always had a 5 to 7 year plan to get into administration and school leadership. I've been fascinated with leadership for a long time. So I made that transition just over a year ago. And since then, Dean of Students at Central Catholic High School here in San Antonio, Texas. We're an all-boys institution, which it kind of feels just like a big soccer team sometimes. It's a unique dynamic compared to the co-ed schools. So that's a brief introduction. My role is I take care of attendance, discipline, student organizations, and overall trying to develop culture, which is a really unique, difficult opportunity.
Great. Thank you very much, Ali. So, revisiting that question regarding the best characteristics or qualities in leaders. You must have met a lot of leaders in your time. Give us a little bit of a summary of the types of leaders that you've come across, and then finish off with the three best qualities that you've found in the top leaders that you've come across.
A summary of the leaders that I've had in the past. Well, I hope some of them aren't watching. I'm just kidding. Bad joke. I'm totally just kidding. I've been really fortunate to have seen a large spectrum of a lot of experience to brand new leaders. And I'll say that there's not necessarily a strong correlation between leaders who have been in education for 2 or 3 decades and brand new leaders and then effectiveness. I've met brand new leaders who are very, very effective, and I've met some very seasoned leaders who are less effective. And I think it goes back to ideology and leadership philosophy. If I had to boil effectiveness down into just a few bite-sized pieces, I thought about this question actually prior to this school year. I thought, what is it about the leaders that I loved that made them very easy to follow? And what is it about the leaders that I didn't necessarily like or respect? And what was it that made that a hurdle? And so I boiled it down to 3 things. And 5 years from now, this might change. But right now, I would say that leaders need to be 3 things. They need to be visible, they need to be accessible, and they need to be instructional. If you are a leader, the first thing you have to be is visible. That is on the school grounds, in the hallways, in the classrooms, at extracurriculars. You have to be seen. We've all heard it 100 times, and we're going to hear it for the next 100 years. You cannot lead from behind your desk. You have to be visible next to people. There's no way. I think Paul used the term, and Michael brought this up, soul mirror. I think of that very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very not obviously, literally. I think of that very literally. And we cannot be each other's soul mirrors unless we are physically in front of each other. And I think there's a lot of power in that. So being visible is the number one thing. Next, being accessible. There have been some struggles in the past where school leadership, I feel like we get so busy that we block off time for our own personal work, but not our collective work. Our doors close. We have a hard time returning phone calls. We don't return emails because we're going 100 miles an hour, and therefore it makes us inaccessible. And then we lose that human touch, that human connection. And then the last thing is instructional. I do feel like as individuals who have the opportunity to hold leadership positions, it is our duty to give instruction and receive instruction to those we lead and from those we lead. I think Ashley said it's about leading from the inside out. So as a leader, you lead from the inside, like who you are drives how you lead. But conversely, I think that sometimes it's really valuable to lead from the outside in, meaning observe what's going on around you, what's the temperature, how are people working, reacting, what have you, and then take that feedback and make adjustments to your own ideology and your own approach. I think so. There's a balance of saying, this is who I am, this is how I lead, and therefore that drives my actions. But there's also real value in saying, wow, from the feedback that I'm getting, because I'm visible, because I'm rubbing shoulders with people, from the feedback that I'm getting, maybe I need to make some changes.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So thank you very much, Ali, for sharing that. I really appreciate it. Very honest of you to talk about those three qualities. We're going to jump in and have a look at the qualities that our audience have just selected before reaching out to Michael in the staff room. So, the qualities that people have mentioned, I mean, there's a bunch of them. You'll be able to see them when it comes live on YouTube, guys. The biggest ones, right in the center, the largest one by far, is someone who is empathetic or uses empathy. It's actually mentioned twice. Authenticity, someone who's authentic, consistent. So the other half of the staff room, you've got a little bit of a choice. Whether you want to respond to these characteristics that people have mentioned, obviously you'll be able to see them during the live stream now because it's been up, or the three qualities that Ali has just mentioned here. I am going to go over, let me just change over the window, and I'm going to go over to the staff room right now. Over to you, Michael.
Great, yeah, thanks. And Ali, thanks for sharing all of your wisdom. To me, it feels like there's an overlap between what folks are saying in the word bubble around authenticity and empathy, and Ali, what you have shared about being out and among folks, also taking feedback. That's not easy to do, and it's certainly not easy to do if you're not empathetic. So I feel like there's some good overlap. Debbie, you have been a teacher for a bit, and I would imagine have been a leader yourself and have worked with leaders of all kinds. What resonated with what Ali had to say?
I think what resonated with both Ali and with Paul was the authenticity, the empathy, just like it's showing up in the word. I literally have those things written down on my paper here as I'm listening to everybody. I've had two amazing leaders that immediately stand out to me. One years ago when I was in Northern Virginia, and her name was Carol Thompson. She opened a new elementary school, hired all of us to open the school with her, and sat us down and said that to her, teaching was a garden. She was the gardener and we were the flowers. And it was her job to make sure that we were watered. And that the first thing she wanted us to know about her was that she saw us. She recognized that we are moms, dads, daughters, sons. And she said, and if your family is not okay, you're not okay. So if your child is sick, stay home. You're of no use to me because your mind is going to be with your child as it should be. And that's okay. We've got you. And that always resonated with us. And we, you know, she loved us, and we felt it, and we worked our tails off because we loved teaching, but we also wanted to make her proud of us as well. The second leader who struck me most is someone that I met last year, is our new math supervisor. His name is Zado Karambaya, and he is the math supervisor at the middle school where I teach. And he said, I'm going to be very honest with you. I want to look good. I want people to know that I'm doing a good job. And the best way for me to be looking good is to make you look good. Because when you look good, I look good. So what do you need? What can I get you? What can I do for you to help you shine? Because when you shine, I shine. Let's be honest, I want to shine. And I so appreciated that, like, yeah, you just said it like it is. And so when I see a leader who says, I see you as a human being aside from your profession, I want to make you shine, I want to water your garden, those are the leaders that I have the most respect for. Those are the leaders that I admire the most. And I've been very lucky to have several of those in my life.
That's great. Thanks, Debbie. Kyrstie, what do you make of either the word cloud or what Debbie has had to say or what Allie had to say about leadership?
There's so much tonight that has just resonated with me. Even things like Ben talking about the tribe and Debbie talking about the family. To me, I want my staff to know that they are that to me. And the words empathy and authenticity are really important to me. Throughout lockdown and the crisis and everything we've had to go through the last few months, I hope my staff have taken that away from my leadership and they've recognised that I am authentic. I think I've cried in front of more people than I ever thought I would do, and actually that's okay. They need to know I'm human. I think that's great. And I think something that Ali said about you've got to be instructional at times. It's not my preferred leadership style. I would like to think I collaborate and I allow others to take the lead. But you know what? Through this crisis, they've needed me to tell them what to do and to lead. And I think that's something that we maybe haven't touched on as much, but the fact that as a leader, there are certain skills and certain attributes that you need one day and you need a completely different set the next day. And that's okay as well. I haven't always been the good leader I hope I am today. I've had to learn. I've taken feedback, as Ali said. That's really important, I think, to listen to your audience and actually adapt your style. But there are certain things I hold dear, and I hope that have been there throughout. Again, things like empathy and authenticity. But the discussion today is absolutely fantastic. And the word cloud, it's all the stuff we know make great leaders. We don't have to be great leaders every day. We just have to strive for that and to try our best.
Really great. And Val, you're a school leader. What do you think about when you heard Allie and some of the other staff room guests share their thoughts?
Absolutely. I believe that Ali was spot on, especially with the three things that he mentioned about a school leader. Being visible. You know, it's important for you to be able to be out and about, boots on the ground, so as we call it. We're doing this work together. Leadership is a title. It is not a position of power or authority. We are a collective group. And so when you are visible, you're checking in with your teachers in the morning, making sure that they are physically, mentally okay, knowing if they even showed up to the building and if you need to get sub coverage. So without that visibility, you could have a ship sinking in the building and you're not even aware that it's going down. When your teachers see you, they know and understand that you are checking in with them. That's the time that you really get to know them and build those relationships and rapport with them, because they're telling you about that sick child or that paper that they have to write or that IEP that needs to get done and they're struggling. And so that's where that support comes in. You being accessible, them even feeling like they can come to you as a safe space is key in getting the work done. And then being that instructional leader, whether that's a lot of times when you lead a department or you lead a group of teachers, it may not have been your area of expertise or background. But you bring your experiences to the table and you model what that lifelong learning looks like, and you get in there in your course team meetings and you're learning from the teachers and with them. And then hopefully they are learning from you. You're helping to facilitate and guide. And so you can't do this work of education and not have an instructional lens or an instructional standpoint, because we all know in this work, our goal is student achievement. And if we don't know how to impact that, help our teachers to grow, then we miss out. That word cloud bubble is so on point. I go back to it again. Leadership is a title, but we all can lead. Our teachers are leaders in their own rights, and we need to build them. So great leaders build other leaders. And so if our teachers feel empowered that they can lead and they can guide and they have some input that is going to be valued, then as Debbie mentioned, they want to do more for you. They go above and beyond. You don't have to micromanage people. They don't want to feel that foot on their neck, so to speak. But you also have to be courageous in having those fierce conversations with teachers. When that teacher is not meeting the mark, you need to be able to lead with a kind spirit, but a firm hand, or a rubber mallet, like I like to say, and just say, hey, let's talk about this area here, and let's be transparent. How can I help support you? Here's what I see. What do you see? How can we do this together? And you can't run from those tough conversations. I've been around leaders that they will say yes to everything just to keep the peace. But that doesn't always mean that that's the best way to do things. So our teachers, our students, our families, we need to engage the community as leaders as well, so that they feel, because they are our stakeholders. Here stateside, they're the ones paying taxes. Whether they have a child in the building or not, they want to feel like they have some input and buy-in to the school community in which they reside, because these kids are the ones that are going to be working in their businesses. These kids live in their neighborhoods. And so there's a lot of weight that comes with leadership, and we all can lead. We all can lead, but we need to help people to believe that they can do it as we grow and strengthen them as well.
Love that, Val. And one of the things you said, that good leaders build other leaders. Edgar, you are a leader helping to support teachers. What resonated with you?
First and foremost, I can't wait till I see the book from Paul and Allie just co-authored on leadership. I can't wait to read that book, so I'm just going to throw that out there. I think about a couple of things. First, in being visible and instructional, I think about the students in the classroom, right? I think about, what are the students seeing you as a leader, and what are you modeling for them? We often think about that dynamic between like school leaders and teachers, but I also think about like that layer, the most important layer, the students. And so are you modeling a way where students are going to be successful long-term, regardless of what environments they're in? Our organization thinks a lot about representation, and we believe that students who see themselves reflected and the teachers and leaders that serve them will ultimately have better long-term educational opportunities and long-term career opportunities. And so this idea and concept about being visible and instructional, I essentially equate with like modeling the way. Leaders have to model the way, and they sometimes have to model a different way to make sure that things are effective, that things are human-centered, that they're community-based. Valerie mentioned community a lot, and I think it's so important that we understand that, again, leadership isn't just the person on top. Leadership is everybody in the community. Everybody has influence, and so making sure that you're responsible with that influence, making sure that maybe it's in the spirit of servant leadership. It's not necessarily about you as a leader, but it's about the community that you're trying to serve, and making sure that they're successful ultimately is important.
Great. Thanks. Evo, back to you.
Thank you, guys. I mean, we could go on for a lot longer with some of the things that you guys have shared. Thank you very much for all the insights. I'm just going to bring up the word cloud again. The strongest characteristics that we've got there, just to go over them. That level of empathy, authenticity, being consistent, being fair, and being kind. I'm sure everyone in the staff room would agree that they are very key, as well as the other characteristics that people have mentioned during this fantastic conversation that we've had. Now, we always like to round things up in the show with a little bit of a quiz, guys. Are you ready for the quiz? Are we all good? Okay, so I'm going to quickly... Yeah, everyone seems quite quiet. I think they're concentrating. Got to run through a couple of very quick rules and introduce the teams quickly and how it's going to run. So the quiz is all about a little bit of fun and well-being at the end of the show. We're going to have two teams. We're going to have the red team, which is going to be captained by Louise, Ali, Barbara, Ben, and Ashley are on the red team. Can I get a hey up from the Reds?
Hey up!
I don't think they were expecting me to do that. So, the purple team is going to be led by Debbie. On her team, she's going to have Paul, Kyrstie, Valerie, and Edgar. Can we have a hoo-yah from the purples? Okay, so how it's going to work, there is going to be direct questions to each team. If that team has 20 seconds, Michael, is that right?
That's it.
20 seconds.
I'll be on them.
Yep, you can confer. You've got 20 seconds. Your team leader, Anne Louise or Debbie, needs to give the final answer. If you do not get it right, it will go to the other team. There are certain questions where you have to get the answer closest to the mark if you don't get the exact answer. So naturally, they will go to the other team anyway, and we'll bridge the gap there. And then the 5 questions we have, the 5th question will go to the team that has the least amount of points, if there is one. If not, then it will go to the team that got the last question wrong, if that makes sense. No using Google, guys. Please have fun. Competitive streaks. Bring them out, people. That's what we want to see. Are you ready? Red team, you're going to be going first. Anne-Louise, are you ready?
Born ready.
Born ready. I love the confidence.
It's in my team again.
Who's in your team? Your team are with you. Your team is Ali, Barbara, Ben, and Ashley. Okay. Can we have the purples mute their microphones? If you're at home, guys, please feel free to join in. There will be 5 questions. See if you can get all the answers right, or if you can guess closest to the mark. But please do not put the answer in the live chat window, because some of our staff room faculty have a little bit of a habit of checking the live chat before they answer.
Yeah, but
let's keep it fair, guys.
Delay, so technically, I think we've run out of time.
You guys are just...
WhatsApp is quicker, guys. WhatsApp is quicker.
Okay.
I just have to state for the record, with Barbara, Anna Louise, Ben, and Ashley, us 5, I'll take us 5 over anybody any day. So let's go.
We're gonna
I've got a pen at the ready. Come on.
Okay. Purples, can you mute your microphones? Keep it in, guys. You'll have an opportunity to reply to Ali. Okay, question number 1. My favorite leader of modern times, Barack Obama. When was his first date and year in office? 20 seconds.
Americans, where are you?
2012. Yeah. As president?
As president.
First day in office.
First day in office.
January 21st.
The first day, January 21st, 2009.
You got 10 seconds.
2009, guys? January 21st, 2009.
2009, sorry. Yeah.
January 21st, 2009. We're good for that? That's our final answer, Evo.
Please, lock it in.
Okay, guys, I mean, judging from what I've searched, that isn't the right answer. So it needs to go to the purple team.
Purple team, you have 20 seconds.
20 seconds, purples.
Oh, come on, Debbie. What do you think?
It would have to be like the 20th or the 19th because it's definitely 2009.
Yeah.
Because he won 2008.
Was that when he took office, though? I mean, maybe a few years before.
5 seconds.
Okay.
So what if we say January 1st is when he took place, but he was inaugurated on the 21st? You want to go with that?
We're going to need a date, guys. We're going to need a date.
Come on, purple team, final answer.
Debbie.
January 1st, 2009.
I'm pretty sure. Well, Evo.
The Reds got it, guys. It's the 20th, apparently. So the Reds got it. Yeah, I mean, like after the show, you can check, but it is.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Never mind. We got the closest, guys. Well done.
And Debbie was like,
score.
so yeah, it's one to the Reds. But Debs, you were like 19th or 20th. I was like, oh, she's gonna say the 20th, and then you went for the first. I don't know what was going on there.
Back to the sheep question all over again.
It's there. It's never gonna go. It's never. So 1 point to the Reds.
1 point to the red team. Yeah, just to confirm.
1 point to the Reds.
Said 2012 like me.
Got the point. Whatever it takes.
So Reds got the point, guys. If you're at home and you got that right, January the 20th, 2009, let us know in the chat window. You get yourself a point. Okay, second question goes to the purples, Debbie's team. Okay. In what year was the world's first woman prime minister elected? 20 seconds.
Thatcher. It's got to be Thatcher.
We didn't cover that in American history for some reason.
What year, guys? What year?
Was it Margaret Thatcher?
I think it might be Margaret.
Margaret Thatcher.
Okay,
Right.
so what year was she?
In the world. I think it was.
In the world, guys.
Yeah.
In the world, guys.
That would be Indira Gandhi.
Woman's
That would be Indira Gandhi.
Yeah.
world's first female prime minister, guys. That's a question.
Prime Minister.
All right, time's up. We need a final answer.
I'm thinking 1960.
1960.
Okay.
Is that your final answer?
Now.
I don't know.
Debbie.
Final answer.
Final answer?
Up to Debbie.
Oh, 1960.
It is 1960! That is brilliant! What a guess, Paul! Unbelievable! That is brilliant. Paul, did you actually know that? Or was that a guess?
I knew it was Gandhi, but I just wasn't sure when.
That was out there. Well, I knew about Cleopatra.
Did you know that, Paul? Was that? Did you actually know that, or was that a guess?
Just guess. Just threw it out.
That's that is spot on, guys.
Paul, you've got to own that. You've got to own that information.
If you guessed 1960 for anyone who's tuning in, that is the correct answer. Give yourself a point.
Was it, though?
It is. I actually, you know what? I should have done a bit more research. You guys can tell me later on. Maybe tell us on Twitter after the show, guys. That would be quite cool.
You don't have that information?
I don't have. There's a lot of information I have on the screen. Unfortunately, Paul, I'm going to leave that to you, my friend. Okay. 1-1. Next question goes to Anne Louise's team, the Team Reds. Okay.
The winners.
Who was described by his foreign minister? It's a prime minister, okay, as having a nice smile, but he has got iron teeth.
All right, 20 seconds.
There's a bit of a clue in that, to be honest.
Know this.
Yeah.
So the foreign minister said about the prime minister. Who are we talking about? The foreign minister or the prime minister? What name?
The prime minister.
You need the name of the prime minister he was describing.
Yeah.
Nice smile, iron teeth.
Is it
Anyone?
Is it someone like from Germany or from Russia or something like that? I'm thinking Iron Curtain. Is it someone like Putin?
There's definitely a clue in what you've just said there, Ben. So you've got, what, 15 seconds?
Right, so it's about like the Iron Lady, so it's a metaphor then.
the
It's like,
Iron
doesn't
Lady.
actually. Yeah.
We're going to need to lock it in now. And what's it going to be?
Right. Should we go for Margaret Thatcher, since she's the Iron Lady. Evo said something about the Iron Tea. I don't know. Or are we going for Putin then?
Did you not say he though? Which is why I'm thrown. But
did you say he or a she? Can you repeat the question?
He said he, but
It doesn't actually. There's no gender in the question.
Okay, then with Margaret Thatcher.
Margaret Thatcher then.
Thatcher.
Ben?
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Happy with that, Ali?
Yes.
Everyone good? Right, we'll go with Margaret Thatcher. Big Maggie.
That is the wrong answer, guys. It goes to the purples. I want to say something, but I can't. I'm going to let the purples answer first.
Purple for the steal. 20 seconds.
I think it's going to be Ben's going to be right.
I think it's Putin.
I like the purple. I mean, the purple
Come on,
curtain.
Debbie.
The iron curtain idea.
I'm going to say Putin.
Purple curtain.
Somebody else say something besides me.
Okay, I think Putin.
We'll go with what you say, Deb. That's fine.
I have no clue.
We're going with Putin.
Putin in.
Putin, lock it in.
Okay.
Putin.
Wait.
Guys.
Lock it in? Or was it-
Are you locking that in?
I don't know, Edgar, are we not
It's
locked
I think
in?
your time's up, no?
I know.
Yeah, just
Is it-
iron.
Is it?
Yeah. Unless
Okay.
they've got actually
Is it Gorbachev?
teeth. Gorbachev.
Are you guys? What have you locked in? I don't know what he's locking in now.
Gorbachev.
No.
Locking in Putin. We're gonna
Putin.
lock in Putin.
Okay, guys. Okay, so Putin.
Purple Putin.
Okay, and we've had Thatcher. Putin's the wrong answer. Ben was right in going down the route of Eastern Europe, Russia. Edgar was correct with Mikhail Gorbachev. No points, guys.
No point.
Oh, that was. I tell you what, that was a good one.
Sorry, Ben.
That's a
It
good.
was real.
That's a good question. I'm going to write that one down for our family quiz night. So
Edgar, be louder. Edgar, be louder.
it is still 1-1. Okay. Question number 4 goes to the purple team. This is for you, Debs.
Their win. This is for the win.
This is going to be interesting. I think some people might get this. Okay.
Edgar.
What is? Okay, so hear me out here. It's something. What is a Winston Churchill?
Got 20 seconds.
It's a person.
Yes.
That's not what I mean.
No, I know this is
Position.
True. He's a person.
Position.
it's not a potato, is it?
A Winston Churchill.
Like you
It's
can't
Debbie's
do a
team.
picture.
It's Debbie's team.
Drink?
What is it?
Alcoholic drink?
A tie, a knot.
Oh, it might be. It might be a tie knot.
Oh, tie
So that's a
knot. I like
Windsor.
that.
All right,
It's not
Debbie.
position.
Do you want to go with that? Do you want to go with the tie knot?
No, that's a Windsor knot, isn't it?
I think it's a.
Michael, how much have you got on the clock, buddy?
Hat.
Debbie, we need it.
I feel like it's like a Cardinal Palmer, but not. So like a Winston Churchill is like a type of drink.
Oh, it's a cocktail.
All right, we're going to go with cocktail.
All right. Evo cocktail, lock it in.
I mean, it doesn't sound like a nice one.
Guys, it is not a cocktail. Red team.
Ooh, red for the chance.
Oh, for the steel, Reds.
I think it's a cigar because he was.
I was
always
going to say
smoking.
cigar.
I think it's a cigar.
I'm going to go with Ben.
Yeah, I was going to say cigar.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're going
Whatever
for cigar.
I'm not 100% sure, but
No, it's all on Ben. This is on Ben.
it is a cigar. I'm going confident.
Okay, are we locking that in? Are we locking that in?
Lock it in and bring it home.
Guys, it is a cigar, Ben! Great job, well done! You know what, guys? I think the whole guess with the cocktail, it's not far off. The whole idea of obviously the drink or the... So you were very much in the right realm. So well done, guys. Guys, if you got that right, a point to
Yes,
you.
you did.
Yeah, it's a cigar. And you're right, Kyrstie. It's a Windsor knot. I did see how people were linking Winston to Windsor, but you did spot
She's
that,
laughing. She
Kyrstie.
said, did I say potato? Yes, you did say potato.
So, Kyrstie, potato Stubbs. No worries, guys. It's great to have people involved. Which means...
Submit American questions next time.
We had one.
Baseball
Well,
question.
well, you did have the Obama question, guys. So you go. I am making it global. Do you know what I mean? I'm touching upon global things. So the last one, okay, so this is actually going to go to the purples. 2, make it even if you can. Okay. It's 2-1 at the moment, guys. Okay, I like this. Last question. Modern historians generally consider Sir Robert Walpole as the first Prime Minister of Great Britain. Can you guess the year that he started? Purple team.
We win. We win. The answer is no. No, I cannot.
Yes.
You get the point. We got it in. No, I cannot guess the year.
I drop.
So closest to the year, unless you get the year right. Let's see what you can do.
You got about 10 seconds.
Purple has to go first, right?
Purple's going first.
45.
Somebody from across the pond shoot a year.
All right, Purple.
Whole year.
Debbie, you need an answer. What's it going to be?
Oh, this you know.
1600 or something, surely.
Yeah, okay.
1650.
5.
Okay, what's the answer, Michael? What are we going for?
Definitely
1655.
1655.
1655. Lock it in.
1655. Yeah.
1565. 1756.
Whoa! I don't. What did?
number you say? There's no 20 numbers coming there.
Paul's throwing a red.
1,100,000. So 16. Okay, 1655. Debs.
That's the answer.
Okay. So 1655. Okay.
5.
Brilliant. Okay. That isn't correct. However, let's see how close you are compared to the red team. Reds.
And Louise.
Red team.
My suggestion is we go either 1656 or 1654.
I'll tell you why. Right, I'm using my Scottish history here.
Yes.
The Union of the Crown was in 1600s. The Union of Parliaments was in 1700. Union of Parliament, Prime Minister. Let's go for 1701.
Well, let's just not go for shoot. I'm just saying we just have to be closer. That's it.
5 seconds.
16. How about 1560?
17.
What are we going for?
What's the number?
Ben, what does Ben say?
1700. I think I know what Ali's saying, but it's
1656.
1657.
Okay, Anne Louise, your final answer.
I'm pretty sure 1700s and what?
Okay, 1701.
It have to be later, so we can go 16.
Can we do 1700?
Yeah.
The Union of Parliament.
Guys, your time's up. Your time is actually up.
Let's go for 1700.
100 is the final.
1700.
Yep.
Yeah, let's go for 1700. Oh my god.
If it's 1699, I'm gonna be so mad.
It's 1700.
Okay, guys. So people who are watching, if you've managed to guess an answer, it is actually 1721. Reds do win. Well done, Reds.
Yay! You were right.
Okay.
After 1700.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, with your knowledge, Anne Louise, when you were talking about Parliament coming into practice, you know, that does actually make sense. The 1700s, it's going to start somewhere in the 1700s. So, you know, well done. And it's the victorious Reds. Give them a round of applause, guys. Well done. If you got...
I still think my answer of no was correct.
Yeah. You get the bonus point.
If you played at home, guys, and you're currently in the chat window, let us know what score you got. Did you get 5? Did you get 4, 3, 2, or 1? Let us know. It'd be great to see how you guys fared during the quiz as well. Guys, we are coming to the end of the show now. It's been absolutely awesome. We've had some very authentic messages and conversations from not only our guests, but our staff room faculty as well. I really want to say thank you to everyone who's contributed this evening, not just people in the show, but people in the live chat window as well, and towards the polls. I'm just going to put up the poll results very quickly, just so people can refer to them. That is the poll for question number 2, which are the characteristics. And then we're going to have the poll for question number 1, which is your current leadership, which is right here, okay? Please feel free to use these results in a conversation in school to help promote positive leadership, guys. We're going to go over quickly to the staff room. Guys, thank you very much. Thank you very much for everything and during the show. I'm going to bid you farewell. Thank you, Paul, and thank you, Ali, for your tremendous, authentic insights. Barbara, Ashley, Anne-Louise, Valerie, Kyrstie, Ben, Edgar, Debbie, and of course, Michael. Have I missed anyone out there? Did I get everybody? I think I got everyone. So thank you very much, guys. Really, really enjoyed the show. Guys at home, I hope you've enjoyed it as well. Next week, we are going to be joined by Kyrstie again, who will be our guest for episode 5, when we're going to be talking about diversity. That's going to happen on Sunday, the 4th of October, at exactly the same time, in exactly the same place. So, can we improve leadership? Can we be more empathetic? Can we be more authentic? Can we be more genuine, supportive, more fair, visible, accessible, instructional? All those things and all the other qualities that have been mentioned. I wish you a very good week ahead in school. I'm going to be leaving you now with a song from who's now become one of my really good friends, Chris Bravery, who's going to be singing us out to end the show. Look forward to catching you next time. Until then, have a great week and keep inspiring.
I was scared of tennis in the dark. I was scared of pretty girls and starting conversations. All my friends are turning green. You're the magician's assistant in their dream. No. And they come and start. Lady, running down to the riptide to get away to the dark side. I wanna be your left-hand man, 'cause I love you when you're singing this song. And I got a lump in my throat 'cause you wanna sing the words wrong. There's this movie that I think you'll like. This guy decides to quit his job and head to New York City. This cowboy's running from himself. She's been living on the highest shelf. No. And they come and start. Lady, running down to the riptide to get away to the dark side. I wanna be your left-hand man, 'cause I love you when you're singing this song. And I got a lump in my throat 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong. I just wanna know if you're gonna stay. I just gotta know. I can't have it any other way. I swear she's destined for the screen. Closest thing to Michelle Pfeiffer that you've ever seen. Oh, lady, running down to the riptide to get away to the dark side. I wanna be your left-hand man, 'cause I love you when you're singing this song. And I got a lump in my throat 'cause you're gonna sing the